I had hoped to have more hydroponics this year than we did. It didn't happen. So that's another thing to look forward to next year, is to see if we can get more hydroponics in. I wanted to do some strawberries as hydroponics. I have plenty of strawberry plants in the yard that I can get cuttings from. But I was busy rebuilding the outside squash beds, so I spent all my efforts on that, and there was no time for something in here. So we have a very cool hydroponic setup that we got from friends years ago, and we had an idea on how we could modify that to do the strawberries. So stay tuned, it could happen next spring. And I'm sure the rodents outside are really enjoying this, because I'm throwing all this crap outside. And they can eat it outside. I don't care. I just don't want them inside. That's the rule. Stay outside. You can have a happy, long life. Come inside, you're toast. So, let's see what we have here. All right, I'll leave this over here, and we'll see if that'll ripen better. It's part of the way ripened. But one of the problems we're having is sometimes you can't tell if there's frost damage. So you'll look at something and you'll squeeze it and stuff, and you'll say, no, I don't think it's got frost damage, and you bring it in the house, and then it proceeds to rot. Obviously it did have frost damage, and you just couldn't tell it. But I think this is going to be my last string, because I have other things to do. Something irritated my throat this morning. I'm not sure what. I have allergies, so it could have been any one of 1,000 things, including the mildew. Yeah. I do want to move the hydroponics system next year farther away from the wall, because I want to be able to walk on both sides of it. I am capable of harvesting on both sides, even if there isn't a lot of space, because I can lean over and do weird things, because I'm pretty healthy. But people that I have taking care of things for me often cannot do that. So the solution is to change the setup. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, and their hangers down. That's a start. There's a couple of clips up here that were used for holding random branches of beans that were running across. It was very cool when this was in its healthy phase. It was so neat to see everything like growing along the roof. We got to visit a greenhouse years ago where the guy had a whole collection of pole beans and stuff growing in the top of his greenhouse, providing shade. I just thought that was so cool. And they were not only just providing shade, they were providing green beans, which was the whole point. So this section is now done. Progress has happened. So that's like, yeah. Those two are done. That one's half done. 6 of those down. I can take these down. I need to get a bucket, since I have little faith. Oh, ye of little faith. I will get these in here. I cannot soak these in here because these were a gift, and these have holes in the bottom. They were meant to be used as pots. Excuse me. But I'm not using them as pots, so I use them for whatever else I need to haul around. But I can take down some more of these. Rufus just wandered around a little. That's funny. He's like, "Are you done yet, Mom?" He's only good for about an hour out here. And then he's done. So sometimes when it's cool outside and just a little warm in here, He likes to snooze. Today he's a little impatient. I don't blame him. It's boring. It's boring when you're a puppy. Anytime it's not boring is when there's grasshoppers running around here or mouses. He thinks mice are great. But the one mouse that was here made a mistake last night, so... But I had been wondering what happened to the mouse whose tail got chopped off, so now we know. No, he made the final fatal mistake. I'm going to get up on the top one. Don't really enjoy ladders all that much, but they're mandatory for some of this stuff. These are just simply looped strings put around the, with slip knots around the purlins and the other stuff here, so yep, there we go. He's dripping condensation on me. It's funny. Ah, there's another one. I'm trying not to miss any while I'm up doing things, because I just really want to get rid of some of this stuff and have the other stuff ready to be used. And if I take down all of the support strings, then I won't be tempted to reuse them next year. Because that's a major flaw on my part. Frugality gets silly sometimes, and you think that you could save money, but the reality is when you come out in the morning and you've got a bunch of stuff that's fallen down because you had one stupid little 10-cent string rot, yeah, that's when you say nasty things about frugality. This plant I harvested super heavily the other day, and my conclusion was it was done pretty much, but it still has some sections that are starting to ripen, a little bit of fruit. But like that section that I just lopped off, those were not going to ripen in time. I'm trying to be more realistic in terms of what's really worth keeping. And the answer is sometimes it's not worth keeping. That I'd be better off just getting rid of it, getting it out of my hair, getting the greenhouse cleaned up better, making more final decisions on what I want to do for the rest of the winter, etc., etc. So that I'm going to cut off, because the end of that string, these strings are pretty long that come on these rolls, and you can buy replacement string for them. So if the end gets too I want to say fuzzy. In other words, it kind of frazzles and stuff, and just becomes difficult to deal with. It needs a certain amount of structural integrity in order for the clips and hooks and stuff that you use on them to work properly. And if that's not there anymore, then it's time to remove. This is another spot where I had a loop, and I used a clip to simply hold a running, this was probably over here, a cucumber. That got some more taken down. Yay. Okay, that's it. I have other things to do. It's partially associated with Christmas, partially associated with my business. Lots of stuff, and the dog is bored. So this stuff goes on the outside location. I have one big kohlrabi here. Now this has got some aphid damage and stuff. That does not matter. You're eating this part, and that part gets peeled. So you just wash everything, and yeah. So that guy's ready to eat. This guy's split. That was getting too much water. This guy's fine. So we'll need to decide when we feel like eating a kohlrabi. It says pak choi because there was pak choi over here. That has been pulled out because The aphids got to be so bad there was nothing left of the plants. But I need to wash all this sort of stuff. These are the hooks tomato hooks I use. Those are the clips. Those are the stakes. And what I'll need to do is take the time to wash them, scrub them, soak them, and then dry them and put them away where I can find them, which means in a light-proof box until next year, because there's no reason to irradiate them over the winter. Now this, again, is another stake here. This guy is still really sturdy, and I haven't watered him in a long time. This had canary yellow and red robin tomatoes in it, in addition to the basil. So that was another mixed pot of stuff, but it's toast. Okay, the boy was sleeping in the house in the sun, so he found a sunspot here he can use too, right next to the slightly scritchy looking squash. But we still have plenty of tomatoes. That's obvious. Whee! A bunch of these are still fine. I've harvested a bunch more out yesterday. I need to process what's in the kitchen before I bring more into the house. Yeah. I'm having a hard time getting rid of the nasturtiums because I like them so much. But they love the aphids and the aphids love them. So I had hoped to be able to keep nasturtiums in here over the winter because it's just so cheerful to come in on a snowy day and have nasturtiums blooming. But not if they're covered with aphids. So we'll have to think about that. That's a problem. Okay. So that's it for me today. I'm going to be running into the house to get other things done. And the studio too. Hi, Rufus. So be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because obviously I got lots more to do. I'm still making decisions as I go along. I always make decisions off the cuff with a few exceptions. I mean, there's things I decide ahead of time. But when it comes to things like this where you're figuring out when you're going to remove an individual plant or something, a lot of times it's exactly what I showed you before, which is I'm sitting there working and I go, okay, and I look at the plant one more time and I say, those two seedlings are too crummy. They're never going to grow well anyway. I'm going to get rid of them because it doesn't make sense to nurture something through the winter that is never going to do a good job for you. I don't know what I'm going to do about my spinach issues this year because we're so infested with aphids. And I don't seem to be able to keep them out of anything I try to grow. So I don't know whether my nets are not tight enough or they're not secured well enough at the bottom or what, or whether there's eggs in the soil. I just don't know. So those are the kind of things I'm dealing with right now. Never fun. My beets, on the other hand, look great. I picked the last of the radishes the other day, and Henry said they tasted good. So we've discovered in the past that radishes are only good for certain temperatures. They're pretty heat tolerant, although in the worst of the summer, they also don't like it too much, and they'll grow too slowly and get spicy, too spicy. The red ace and the golden beets are both, the greens are looking great right now. They do have a few aphids on them, but they don't seem to be particularly susceptible to aphids. So that's fine. So you'll just have to come back and see what I wind up doing. So until next time, bye. Oh, and keep brainstorming because obviously I have to.